Who's Who in Black History, an exercise game with trivia, or a trivia game with exercise. Each round, for 30 seconds, do the exercise of the best answer to the question. If you get the answer correct, do a happy dance and give yourself a point. If you get the answer wrong, you must do the exercise of the correct answer. Let's get moving! Our first trivia clue is, who refused to give up her seat to a white man on a bus in 1955? Well, that was Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks' defiance to adhere to segregation laws sparked the civil rights movement in America. Who was an American poet that wrote the award-winning memoir, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings? Maya Angelou is one of the most influential women in American history and was a poet, singer, memoirist, and civil rights activist. Who was the first Black woman to play Wimbledon? Althea Gibson. In 1951, Gibson made her historic debut as the first African-American woman to play at Wimbledon. Who was a mathematician, one of the brains behind the complex calculations that helped us to fly into space? Katherine Johnson was a pioneering African-American woman who worked for NASA and helped make the essential math calculations to send the first man to the moon. Who was an advocate for civil rights and encouraged young African-Americans to fly? Why, that's Bessie Coleman. In 1921, Bessie Coleman became the first American woman to earn the International Pilot's License despite racial discrimination preventing her entry in American flying schools. Who was an American Baptist minister and activist who became the most visible, iconic spokesperson and leader in the civil rights movement? Well, that's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who is best known for advancing civil rights through nonviolence and civil disobedience. During the 1963 March for Jobs and Freedom on the Mall of Washington, D.C., he delivered his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. Who was born in Richmond, Virginia, and became the first Black player to be selected on the United States Davis Cup team? Well, it's Arthur Ashe Jr., who was the only Black man ever to win the singles title at Wimbledon, the US Open, and the Australian Open. Who was the first Black woman to make a major impact on international track and field? It's Wilma Rudolph. Wilma Rudolph recovered from childhood polio, pneumonia, and scarlet fever to win 3 gold medals at the 1960 Olympic Games. Who is a 6-time world all-around champion in gymnastics? That gymnast is Simone Biles, who stepped into the limelight at the 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro as a member of the Fab Five. Since then, she has shattered gymnastics records and even has 2 skills named after her on floor and vault. Who was an abolitionist and helped slaves escape on the Underground Railroad? It's Harriet Tubman. Between 1850 and 1860, Harriet Tubman made 19 trips from the south to the north, following the network known as the Underground Railroad. She guided more than 300 people, including her parents and several siblings, from slavery to freedom, earning her the nickname Moses for her leadership. Well done! Hope you had some fun. Check out other fun and factual activities on my YouTube channel.